What's going on, YouTube? So today is a very exciting day because several things have happened. First of all, I know it's a weird angle. I'm going to change it. So first of all, electricity. I got here early this morning, and the electricity was magically on. You know, power company just comes and flips it on. So that was awesome. That was good. That's really big progress, obviously. And so since the power's on, that kicked the water heater on, and now we have hot water, electricity. And on top of that, my equipment for the restaurant was delivered today. So I'm going to kind of show you what we got and talk some more about the topic of today. But first, show you what we got. So first thing was this reach and freezer. Now this thing is a beast, as you can see. Pretty much 8 foot tall fridge. And this thing, open it up, is gonna have plenty of space for everything that I'm gonna be using it for the business. So that is the fridge, okay? And we were able to get some food products in here today. You know, got some drinks, got our spices, all that good stuff, right? And then the second piece of equipment was the range, the stove and oven combination here. This is a 6-burner stove, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't even want to use it, man. It looks so good, right? But it will get dirty for sure. We're gonna try to keep it as clean as possible, but you know how that goes. And then the oven, you know, at first when I looked at this unit online, I didn't think this oven was gonna be big enough. But I took a chance and I went ahead and got it because they didn't have one that I could see in the store. They had some other models that were similar. They didn't have this exact one. So I took a chance, but I think the oven's gonna work out just fine because although it looks small there, it actually is a pretty deep oven. And these sheet pans, these full-size sheet pans, actually can fit all the way in here. All the way in here, no problem. They can actually go even further back. So I don't know if you have some smaller pans, you can put them here or something. Probably not, but you know, that is quite a bit of space. So obviously 2 racks. There is space for one more rack, if I want to put one in. Didn't come with it, which I think is strange, but whatever. So yeah, 2 full pans. That is going to be enough space for me. And also, if you have, you know, like aluminum pans, those aluminum pans, like catering pans that I use, I'm pretty sure, let's see, pretty sure I could probably fit 4 of them in that oven, probably 2 per rack. Let's find out. You guys are finding out with me at the same time. Yeah. So 2 here, 2 down there, 4 pins. This is going to be plenty of oven space for what I need. Plenty of oven space for what I need. All right. So we got that taken care of. And then the other items, big items that we got, was the food warmer or proofer. These things are amazing. If you haven't used one before, to hot hold your briskets, they're amazing. They're amazing, they're amazing, they're amazing, because what happens is, you know, you cook your brisket the day before, and then most people who aren't in the restaurant business will use like a Yeti cooler because they're really good at insulating, but they're very expensive. Or they'll use just a regular cooler, right? An igloo cooler, and they'll wrap it in towels and stuff. And that can work for, I don't know, 4, 6 hours, maybe 8. Some people push it a little further than they should, and the food's not actually in the safety range for food. And so if you're running a restaurant, you can't really do that. You gotta make sure everything's safe. So this bad boy, see the opening last door. This bad boy will keep everything at 140 degrees for your briskets, And it has an adjustment for the humidity, so you can keep it nice and humid in there so that your briskets don't dry out. So you can hold your briskets 12, 15, 17 hours in these things and not even worry about it. And when you get one of these, you could use one that's not insulated. It would probably be okay, you'd probably be all right. But this one happens to be insulated. That's gonna be the best case scenario because you don't want air, you don't want cool air being able to get in. And you want to make sure that it's nice and insulated so you keep all of that moisture inside your meats, okay? So that is something that you want to do for that. So what is the topic for today's video, guys? We're going to move this camera around real quick because I think what I want to do is I think I want to film at this angle here for the videos, kind of moving forward. So I think I want to film this way for the videos, that way whenever I'm trimming protein, stuff like that, you guys can see everything, and I think that's going to work out the best. So the topic for today's video is that opening a restaurant is not easy and it is expensive, okay? There's no way around it. It's not easy and it is expensive, okay? So what am I saying not easy, all right? It's not easy because if you don't have an extensive amount of restaurant experience, there's things that you're just not gonna know, okay? There's things that you're just not gonna know that you would know if you'd worked in a restaurant for an extended period of time, in particular as a manager. So I think that if you wanna open a restaurant, I think that even if you've got a bunch of money, I think that what you should do is you should work. If you got a full-time job Monday through Friday that's making all your money, cool. I think you should pick up a part-time job on the weekends in a restaurant. And I would urge you to try to get as high up as you can. I know that's kind of tough, only working on the weekends or whatever, but maybe you're not that guy who has a 9 to 5 during the week. Maybe you want to change careers entirely to do this, but I would try to get in some sort of management position or team leader position where you can learn the ins and outs of the restaurant business firsthand. So what licenses do you need? What permits do you need? What certifications do you need? Things like that, right? Like as an example, if you're running a restaurant or food establishment, you have to have someone in the building at all times that has a food manager certification, not just a food handler, but a food manager certification. At least one person that's running the restaurant, that's in the restaurant, has to have that at all times, right? That's just one thing, okay? I'm not saying, oh, that's big information, but just one thing. But there's tons of different licenses, permits, certifications, different things that you need to run a restaurant. There's different signs you have to display in your restaurant to make them compliant with the health department. There's certain floors you have to have. There's certain walls you have to have. There's just certain stuff like that that you're really probably not going to know unless you have either worked in a restaurant or you have a meeting with the health inspector. Okay. Other things, right? If you're gonna have a stove, things like that, a grill, you gotta have vent hoods. And typically, what they want is they want you to have a semi-annual contract with a company to actually come out and professionally clean the vent hoods. Okay, so you can clean like the vents, typically in the restaurants that I ran, we did them every night because we were using a lot of grease. But you want to clean those yourself, but you also have to have somebody professionally come out and clean them semi-annually, all right? So there's things like that you're gonna want to have had some experience doing, Do you mind working till midnight, 1 in the morning, cleaning up the restaurant after you close? Are you comfortable kicking people out who are drunk and disorderly? Those are things that you gotta do when you have a restaurant, okay? Are you comfortable, getting up early, getting into the building, getting everything ready to go? Those are things that, you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna own the place. I'm not gonna have to get up early and go prep the food and get ready for opening. What happens when your cook calls out and you've never cooked the items on your menu and you don't know how to do it? What happens when your server calls out and you have to work the POS system, but you've never done it, right? A restaurant is something, really any business, but a restaurant specifically is what I'm talking about. you have to have hands-on experience doing what you're asking people to do, doing what you're asking your employees to do. Otherwise, they're not going to respect you. If they can't make it in, you're not going to know what you're doing, and you're ultimately going to lose time and money by not knowing that. So when I say it's not easy, what I mean is it's not easy if you don't have experience. So I'd encourage you, even if it's for a short time, you need to go work in a restaurant, see if this is something you actually want to do, because being a manager at a restaurant and an owner of a restaurant, yes, there are some differences, some obvious differences, money on the line, right? Things like that. But the same things that a manager has to do, a business owner, a restaurant owner needs to do. When you put money in to get a Chick-fil-A franchise, as a franchisee, you're required to work the frickin' Chick-fil-A. You can't just sit in the office or sit at the house and do nothing. The franchisee is required to know how to operate every inch of the business. And so I encourage you to be able to do that, guys. I encourage you to learn what you need to learn firsthand. Now, secondly, expensive, okay? So typically how it goes, when it comes to people trying to open restaurants, what I've seen is either people have experience or they have money. Very rarely do people have both. Now I'm talking like startup restaurants. I'm not talking about like your bigger chains, okay? There are people who have their stuff together, both with experience and money. But from kind of the circles that I'm around and what I see online, usually people either have experience or money, all right? And so if you have experience, that's awesome. Like I had experience, but me and my wife had to get our money up so that we could make something happen like this, right? So why is it expensive? Well, Proofer's $1,500. Reaching Cooler's $1,500. Oven is, I think it was like $1,600, $1,700. And all of these units, they're good brands, but they're not the top of the line brands. I had a choice between this refrigerator and another refrigerator that was like close to $4,000. Of course I chose this one because it is a good brand. It's gonna do what I need to do, and I need to save money so I can actually operate this thing. But these are not even the top of the line. This is like, I would say, the lowest acceptable dollar amounts for this equipment. Unless you're gonna buy some cheap stuff online from, Amazon or Alibaba or something like that, and then, you never know what you get. They're gonna break down. When they break down, you're not gonna have parts to fix them. Nobody's gonna have parts to fix them. And the people who can fix them aren't gonna wanna work on them because it's some off brand from China that they've never ever heard of, and they don't wanna be liable for it. And so you wanna get good, respectable equipment from a respectable source. So down here in Texas, or in this part of Texas, we use A-Smart. A-Smart, they're a restaurant supply store, but they sell everything from spatulas and whisks to equipment like this. Everything's under warranty, so there's no doubt everything's gonna be good. So I vetted these brands, I got with A-Smart. We did a good job on getting this stuff. So, and just in case you're wondering, the brand of the range, the brand of the proofer is Gusto or Gusto, and the refrigerator is Supreme. So, there's that. So guys, experience is money. Get experience, hands-on, working in a restaurant. I don't care if it's a Domino's pizza, okay? Get experience working in a restaurant. I don't care if you got to take a job as a dishwasher. You're going to learn stuff there as a dishwasher that you would not have known otherwise, okay? And then secondly, money. You need to know how much money it's going to take to get something like this going, between the rent, between the equipment. See, I just talked about the big equipment cost. What about the tables, the prep tables? What about the pans? What about all that stuff adds up? The other food holders, all the chemicals, right? So all this stuff adds up. Luckily, we were in a position where we were stacking cash so that when the opportunity presented itself, we were ready. Had we not done that, this opportunity would have flew on by. As much as we would have wanted this building, as much as we would have wanted to do this, we wouldn't have been able to had we not stacked some cash to be able to do this thing with. And I'm happy to say that we've been able to get in this building, get this equipment, do what we have to do without getting into debt, which I think is awesome. Because we can just focus on making the food, making the money, and not have to worry about all the debt payments. So, guys, it's not easy. You need experience and money. Go get the experience and stack the money. You can do that at the same time, right? Go work in a restaurant, take a percentage of your income at that restaurant, and put it towards an account, a fund. Put it towards a fund. This is my restaurant fund. This is my startup fund. So go work delivering pizzas. Well, I suggest you don't deliver pizza. I suggest you actually work in the building because you learn more if you're in the building rather than in the car. So go work at a pizza place. Go work at a burger joint. Whatever type of business you want to run, whatever type of restaurant you want to run, go work in that type of restaurant and learn what you need to learn and stack some cash so that you can open your concept. So time, experience, money. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I cannot wait to show you some more things about what we're doing with the restaurant as we're getting ready to open. We're going to show you A to Z, everything. If you have questions about anything, leave them down below in the comment section. I'd love to answer your questions, and I'll do a video about it. Any question you have regarding the restaurant business, regarding the barbecue, leave it down below in the comment section, and I will answer those. Can't wait to make the next video. I will see you guys tomorrow.